Welcome back, everyone. Komakala here. What I'm going to actually do is go to the back cave, just so that I don't have to worry about... Oh, good grief, I've got the hiccups, I'm sorry. So I don't have to worry about being attacked. And then after that, I'll talk to Alfred, see if he has any words of wisdom to offer. And that'll be it for this part. Okay, so let's see, select brings it up. Well, I suppose we can look at these. I don't think they'll really have anything to offer. I would like to try to knock out all these most wanteds. I know one of them's DEADSHOT. Beyond that, I don't really have any idea who they are. I think one of them's Lady SHIVA. I've read somewhere that if you hear a baby crying while you're flying around the map, that's where you run into Lady SHIVA. I don't know exactly, that's just what I've read. So I'll look for that at some point. What we're looking for here is the profiles. I am 42% complete with that, and after that we'll look at case files. Let's go ahead and start top left. So profile of Batman. Real name is Bruce Wayne. Vigilante. Gotham City. Blue eyes, black hair, 6'2", 200 pounds. Oh, that was not what I meant to do. I don't know how to... Okay, left and right on the D-pad switches between these. GCPD doesn't know much about him. He is wanted for questioning. Criminal elements are starting to realize that Batman is a threat. Still, a lot of people don't really believe that he even exists. And there's conflicting reports. Is he one man or many? They'll never know. Well, some of them will. I'm not going to read all of this. What I'm going to do is I'll slowly scroll down it, so those of you who do want to read it can actually pause if you'd like. So here we go. I'm going to start scrolling down. And pause for a couple moments. And there we go. That should be enough time for you to pause it and read whatever you want. Bruce Wayne. He is the CEO of Wayne Industries. He lives in Gotham City. Blue, black, 6'2", 200 pounds. And again, I made the same mistake. Wow. He is billionaire heir to the Wayne Empire. He's a philanthropist and playboy. I'm going to struggle with that word. For all his public prestige, he is a private man who rarely discusses personal topics. Looks like just this one little section is all that there is to read. So we're just going to give you a second to pause, and I'm going back now. Alfred Pennyworth. He is the butler of Bruce Wayne. He lives in Gotham City. Blue eyes, black hair, but now it's gray. 6 foot, 170 pounds. Longtime butler to the Wayne family. He is the legal guardian of Bruce Wayne when he was younger. Trusted friend and loyal companion. Again, this isn't much to read in this section, so I'm just going to leave it up for a couple seconds. Feel free to pause, and I'm going back now. Alright, we have Captain Gordon. James W. Gordon. He is currently the police captain of Gotham City Police Department. He lives in Gotham City, naturally. Blue eyes, brown hair. That brown hair really looks like a light blonde or a light blonde. Wow, dark blonde or a light brown. I wouldn't classify that hair color as just straight up brown, but that's me. Height 6 foot, weight 180 pounds. Potentially one of Gotham's only honest cops. There's some others. Aaron Cash, but I guess we don't really run into him until later. And I don't even know if he's currently working for Gotham City. But Gordon is hard-nosed and by the book. corruption within the GCPD is a threat to his career and potentially his life. Again, not very much to read here. He is the head of the task force, basically needing to bring down the Batman. He takes the job very seriously. And I'm going to go ahead and head back now. And Barbara Gordon, James Gordon's daughter. She's a high school student. Blue, red hair. I really don't think that red hair looks natural, even though it is supposed to be her natural color. And again, this is a game, so I can't really judge it off of that. 5'2", 105 pounds. Eidetic memory, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I don't even know what that word means. My guess would be something along the photographic memory, maybe? I could be wrong. Could mean something completely different. Extensive knowledge of telecommunications infrastructure, network security, supportive of alternate forms of law enforcement, and she is a hacker. Now, while we go ahead and go over here, I'm going to look up that term that we just read, so you can read this for a moment. Yeah, it's commonly referred to as photographic memory or total recall. That's what that memory type is. That is the actual clinical term for it. But basically it's photographic memory, the ability to recall images, sounds, or objects in memory with great precision, according to Wikipedia. So who knows, that could be wrong. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and go back now. Now we have VICKI VALE. She is an investigative journalist. She works in Gotham City. Blue eyes, blonde hair, 5'7", 121 pounds. A young reporter seeking to make a name for herself. She is fixated on Bruce Wayne and the telling of his story. Vale's stories often attract corrupt officials head on. Oh, often attack, not attract. Wow, I misread that. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and go back now. And who is this? Falcone. Alberto Falcone? Yes, professional criminal, Gotham City, dark brown eyes, black hair, 5'8", 150 pounds. Son of a mob boss, Carmine Falcone. Medical records indicate a history of mental illness. And as far as I know, this game is the first time I've ever heard of this guy. He may be in the comics or whatever, and some of that material, but I'm not really familiar with this guy. I know of Carmine, but not Alberto. Anyways, one of the most powerful crime families, and I'm going to go ahead and back out of this right about now. Alright, let's drop down to the next line. We have Bane. His real name is unknown. He is a fugitive. He is based in South America. His eyes are brown, but when he's on Venom, his eyes are green. Hair color brown. Estimated 7'5". Wow. Estimated weight of over 500 pounds. That's insane. Supreme strength and agility, combined with the mind of a master tactician. Seems dependent on a substance delivery system. Possible weakness. So, the interesting thing about Bane is just looking at him, you wouldn't think that he's this master tactician. I never thought that, and gradually as I've played more of the games and found out a little bit more about him, I start to realize that he is pretty damn smart. And then, of course, with the Christopher Nolan movies, the last movie that featured Bane, well, the only movie that featured Bane, showed him off as being a very intelligent person. So feel free to read this. There is nothing to scroll up or down with, so I'm going to back out now. Oops, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Anyways, this is Copperhead, contract killer. She is from South America. Yellow eyes, blonde hair. Yellow eyes. My guess would be that she's wearing contacts or something to do that. I don't think yellow eyes exists naturally. I could be wrong. There could be some mutations or something that causes that. But anyway, she's 5'10", weighs 145 pounds. Tattooing suggests Central American gang membership. She is a master escape artist. Abnormal physiology allows for unnatural contortions. She may be one of a larger gang operating under the same name, which up until now, Copperhead has always been represented by a male character, from my understanding, and even in some situations was wearing a costume to make him look like a snake. Again, my understanding, I don't know this from personally reading the comics. It's just, I've heard that. And I guess this time they decided to make it a female for a couple of different reasons. One of those reasons is it's law of comics. I'm not sure exactly what they call the law, but essentially for every comic book character there is a opposite gender equivalent of that character. So you could have a female Joker, you could have a female Batman, Batgirl, which actually there are characters of that name. But anyways, continuing on. Alias for hitmen working in Central and South American drug cartels. This Copperhead is clearly a female. Anyway, so let's go ahead and back out of this right about now. Here we've got DEADSHOT. His name is Floyd Lawton. He is a mercenary. He is based in, I really want to say Mobile, but mobile means that he just moves around a lot and he doesn't really have any base of operations that we know of. Eye color of blue, hair color of brown, 6'1", weighs in at 200 pounds. Looks a little thin to be 200 pounds, but what do I know? Master marksman, former military, specific background redacted. Reckless attitude suggests mental instability. He is among the best sharpshooters in the world. So he was a lethal military sniper with a long list of assassinations, but according to his records, he often takes unnecessary risks or makes his plans unnecessarily complex. Perhaps this is why he was discharged from service. Sorry. You just keep on here. Perhaps this is why he was discharged from service and took up mercenary work. Though his military record is mostly redacted, his psychological profile suggests he harbors deep feelings of guilt regarding his accidental murder of his own brother. Wow, that would carry a lot of guilt, I'm sure. Next up we have Deathstroke. Real name is Slade Wilson. He's a mercenary. Again, mobile base of operations. Blue eyes, gray hair color, because he does seem to be an older gentleman. 6'5", 225 pounds. 6'5", wow, that's tall. Well, tall compared to me. I'm 6'2", but still, seeing somebody who's 6'5" just seems crazy. Medically enhanced physical and mental abilities. He is a master of multiple combat techniques, has a very strategic mind, and happens to be missing his right eye. I'm going to go ahead and do some of the challenge maps with him. I think it would be fun. This one's a little bit longer, but I am going to read it because Deathstroke does really interest me as a character. Wilson was an accomplished member of the Special Forces. This distinction earned him admittance into a covert program where he was subjected to extensive mental and physical augmentation. The process left him with an increased mental function as well as enhanced speed, strength, and stamina. Though much of the file is redacted, it appears that Slade was eventually discharged from the military. Though the exact circumstances are not specified, he has since taken up work as a mercenary. His augmentations, coupled with his mastery of hand-to-hand combat, make him a formidable opponent, possibly one of the most dangerous Batman has ever, or will ever, face. The TV show Arrow, which airs on, I want to say it's CW channel or whatever, Deathstroke features into that show a little bit, training, I think it's Deathstroke. No, not, oh god, it's so confusing trying to remember who some of these characters are. Anyways, Deathstroke is on that show, but one of his partners or something ends up training Oliver Queen. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen the show, even though the first season just ended not too long ago. Anyways, we have the Electrocutioner. His name is Lester Puchinsky. I guess that's my best guess on how to pronounce it. He is a pit fighter, lives in Gotham City, brown eyes, brown hair. Seems weird seeing the eye and the hair color swapped around like that. Normally I would say the hair color and then the eye color. That's just how I would do it. But anyways, the height is 6'4", weighs in at 225 pounds. Street tough, he's out to make a name for himself, has surprising skill in electrical engineering, and a very big mouth. More bronze than brains is the initial assessment of Bruchinsky. Maybe that's the correct way to say it. But he has been able to create some kind of custom-made weaponized gloves that pack a very powerful electrical discharge. Their craftsmanship suggests that there is more going on between his ears than the sound of his own boasting. Though he may have had help constructing them, perhaps even had them made by somebody else. His arrogance and overconfidence happen to be his weakness. Firefly. Garfield Linz, pyrotechnics expert, mobile base of operations, brown eyes, hair color. He doesn't have any hair because he's been burned so horribly, but his hair color was brown back in the day. Height 5'11", weighs 165 pounds. Very slight individual. OCD, obsessive compulsive pyromaniac, multiple instances of severe burns all over his body. Utilizes a custom-made flamethrower, jetpack, and incendiary grenades, and I have a feeling he is going to be a total pain in the butt when it comes time to fight him. I assume we may have to use the Batclaw a great deal to pull him down. Anyways, feel free to read this at your leisure by pausing the screen, and I'm going to back out now. Waylon Jones, otherwise known as Killer Croc. He's a career criminal, lives in Gotham City. Yellow eyes, no hair, 9'8", weighs in at a little over 850 pounds, maybe a lot over 850 pounds, I'm not sure. Instinctual hunter with heightened senses, dynamic physiology. His appearance continually changes. I'm glad that they threw that in there because I was going to comment that he looks very different in the Arkham games. Yeah, not really much to do here. I'm not going to try to read this because there are some scientific terms that I will not be able to pronounce, and I'll just make fun of myself. Anyways, let's go ahead and back out now. Feel free to read it. Next up we have SHIVA, which I don't know why Batman knows anything about her. I guess he doesn't, other than he saw that she was one of the people who took the contract. She's a martial arts grandmaster, unmatched skill in hand-to-hand combat. Police records are thin, but indications are that SHIVA is a highly trained and extremely dangerous assassin. Rumor is that she selects many of her targets simply to test her skills. There are no known survivors from these encounters, and the threat that she represents cannot be underestimated. I look forward to fighting her. Should be one of those fun fights. Copperhead should be a fun fight too. Given how flexible she is and everything, and some of the videos that we've seen about her. Anyways, Black Mask. Wow, I'm going through this a little slow. I apologize, but I did say I was going to look at all of these. Black Mask, his name is Roman Sionis. I think that's right. They've said his name several times already, and I keep on forgetting how to pronounce it. He is a crime lord. Lives in Gotham City. Brown hair, brown eyes. 6'1", weighs 195. Runs the largest organized crime operation in Gotham City. Members of his organization wear black masks to conceal their identities. Most members are also employees of Sionis' legitimate businesses. He makes extensive use of torture techniques to satisfy his sadistic appetites. Roman Sionis. Wow, there's a lot to read here, so we're going to go ahead and take a couple moments so that you can read the first paragraph. Then we're going to start scrolling down, and another little moment or so you can pause and read the bottom paragraph, and I'm going to back out now. Penguin, otherwise known as Oswald C. Cobblepot, black market racketeer, lives in Gotham City, blue eyes, black hair. He comes in at a whopping 4'10" and weighs 175 pounds. Up-and-coming crime boss, extensive underworld connections, cunning and paranoia make him a very difficult foe to nail down. Alright, feel free to read this little tidbit about him. He's made appearances, I want to say it was in both Arkham games before this. I also can't remember if he made an appearance in Asylum or not. Anyways, let's go ahead and back out. Now we have Anarchy. His real name is unknown. He is a political activist, lives in Gotham City. We don't really know his eye or hair color, which I thought we took his mask off. So we should know that stuff by now. He's 5'6", weighs 145 pounds. He's the self-titled voice of the people, extremist who will do anything to achieve his goals. Sees corporations and governments as enemies that must be destroyed. He has a growing following among the youth and the disillusioned. Anarchy wants to purge Gotham of corruption, but his methods involve wanton destruction. His idealism is matched with a self-importance that makes reasoning with him nearly impossible. He needs to be dealt with physically and imprisoned to keep this city safe. He should be approached with caution. So it looks like I have, what is this, 6 people left to unlock. Julian Julian Gregory Day. Calendar Man. Now what's interesting about this is we have 2 different calendars that I know of. One of them is the Julian calendar, the other one is the Gregorian calendar. Julian calendar actually numbers the days of the year. It doesn't have, well, the version that I see at work is not separated into months and all that. It's just you have days 1 through 365, and that's it. The Gregorian calendar is the one that's commonly used today, where we have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, all those months. I don't know why I quit right there at the end when I had 2 months left to say. But anyways, Julian Gregory Day, he is a fugitive, lives in Gotham City. Blue eyes, his hair color was formerly brown. He has the months tattooed around the crown of his head. That's what it looks like, the forehead of his. He's 5'9", weighs 250 pounds. Another obsessive compulsive psychotic. Oh, this time he's psychotic, not a pyromaniac. He's convicted of multiple murders and sentenced to die on Christmas Eve. The sentencing judge was Fremont Harkness. Julian Day, also known as Calendar Killer, also known as Calendar Man, was brought to justice thanks to Batman's diligence in apprehending him. Anyways, I'm just going to quit reading there. I'm sorry. You can feel free to read the rest, and I'm going to back out now. And we have Ricky Looselips LeBlanc. Richard LeBlanc, arms dealer, Gotham City, blue eyes, brown hair, 6'3", weighs 220. Like most bullies, he breaks when faced with somebody stronger. LeBlanc has mid-level connections throughout the entire city. He could be a potential informant, given his contacts. He also works for Oswald Cobblepot, also known as the Penguin, who we just read about a few moments ago. LeBlanc was a small-time gun runner who fell in with Penguin's crew and now works exclusively for Cobblepot. LeBlanc conducts arms deals with various buyers and sellers all over the city. He fancies himself a comedian and a ladies' man, but he's nothing more than a common criminal who should be behind bars. Well, last we saw he was in the police station, so that's a good place to start off. This is Enigma. Don't know his name. We don't know really anything about him. We know he's a professional criminal. We know he's from Gotham City. That's it. Hopefully we'll figure more out later as we progress through the story. I will try to knock out his stuff. Unfortunately, I think it's going to require 100% finding all of his items, all the data packs and all that stuff. So he may be the one person that we do not see all the most wanted info on. He's a master hacker. He has a compulsive need to prove his superiority. Very intelligent, but he's also very insecure. Enigma seems to be able to defeat almost all forms of network security. Batman's own network is under threat of attack, and steps must be taken to ensure no future incursions. If he was able to access the Bat computer, there's no telling how much damage he could do. Fortunately, his insecurities cause him to act out. The more he draws attention to himself, the easier he becomes to track down and take out. Alright, give me just a moment and then I'll read about Commissioner LOEB. Real name, Jillian B. LOEB. Well, no wonder this guy turned to the dark side with the name Jillian. I'm just kidding. Anyways, his occupation is GCPD Commissioner. Well, was. Now he's dead, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depends on how you want to look at it. He's based in Gotham City. Brown eyes, gray hair, 5'7", weighs in at 210 pounds. Slick, deeply corrupt police commissioner. Politically untouchable, alleged to have connections to Gotham's major crime families, especially the Black Mask, or the Sionis family, or whatever that was. Anyways, go ahead, take your time, pause it, read it. I'm going to back out now. And this is Warden Joseph. We saw him at the beginning. I think also in trailers you saw his eye get burned out. That's my guess. What happened to his left eye. You see Black Mask approaching him with a lit, I don't remember if it was a cigarette or a cigar, and he was pushing it towards the guy's eye. Anyways, Black 8 prison warden, Gotham City, dark brown eyes, black hair. He's 5'11", weighs in at 195 pounds. Rumored to be more concerned with the politics of his office than his responsibilities. He's a family man, no known associations with criminal elements, and his career, his entire career, has been as a prison administrator. Oh wow, there's a lot to read here, so feel free to begin reading. I'm going to say a couple sentences that have nothing to do with anything, and then I'm going to start scrolling down. Oh, wow, just one little movement. Finish reading. I'm backing out now. Okay, Brandon. Howard Brandon, SWAT lieutenant, Gotham City, blue eyes, brown hair, 6'3", weighs in at 230. Trigger-happy leader of GCPD's feared tactical unit, commonly extorts and intimidates criminals and innocents. One of the dirtiest cops on the force. He is a skilled marksman, proven tactical combat skills. Wow, I'm totally screwing up reading there. Anyways, feel free to read this. Got some information about him and how corrupt he is and how he's trying to bring down the Batman. Anyways, let's go ahead and back out now. Now we've got Candy. We don't really know her name. She is Penguin's assistant, based in Gotham City. Brown eyes, black hair, 5'8", weighs in 135 pounds. She's using Penguin for income. Criminal record exists only in association with the Penguin. There is a potential for rehabilitation. Maybe. She was raised on the streets, but managed to pull herself up and earn a business degree. Unfortunately, lean times and contracting job market caused her to fall in with Penguin's crowd. The recession has driven many well-educated people to take desperate action to support themselves, but that's no excuse for criminal behavior. Her crimes are minor, however, making her an excellent candidate for rehabilitation. Real name is Tracy Buxton. Penguin's associate. She's based out of Gotham City. Brown eyes, blonde hair. 5'8", weighs 135 pounds. She's very streetwise and tough. Mid-level leadership position. Tracy's earned her status in Penguin's operation owing to a tough as nails, no nonsense attitude. Penguin uses her to keep his crew in line when he's not around. It's not clear why she would have fallen in with Cobblepot. It's likely the two met while he was living abroad. Perhaps he's grooming her to take over his operation someday. While she represents only a minimal physical threat, she is as dangerous as anyone else who picks up a gun and is willing to use it. Alright. Yeah, we can't scroll up or down on any of these. I have no idea who these other people are that we're going to be unlocking. Let's go ahead and back out here. Take a quick look at this. Looks like we've closed all 3 cases that we have currently going. Going to back out. I do not have any Gotham intel as of yet. Synopsis. This is just the story so far. Let's go ahead and back out. Let's go talk to Alfred. See if we can figure out where he is. There we go. See if he has any more wisdom for us.
Yet,
No, thank you.
How are you doing down here, Alfred?
same as ever, sir. Though I must say the cave becomes rather chilly in the winter.
I could look into building some more heaters.
The energy consumption would raise too many eyebrows of water and power. No, I shall have to soldier on.
How about putting a jacket on over that suit? That would help. Sure, it may rumple your suit, but still. Take a quick look at this. Maroni. Case, closed case is or case 151 maybe? I don't know. Masked Hood takes major score. Red masked man in a daring theft. Who is the Red Hood? I think there was a cartoon recently released. Recently meaning in the last 3 years or so. Specifically dealing with the man in the Red Hood. It was a Batman cartoon, obviously. And we've got the Calendar Killer. He did manage to track down the Calendar Killer, solve this crime, and get him arrested. But he's still working on the Red Hood. We have no idea who he is, what's going on. All we have is that picture right there. Oh, not my intention. I don't think there's anything new down here. Nope. I suppose we could try one last challenge map, and then that'll probably be it for my recording tonight. I'll probably head to bed. Feeling tired. Let's go ahead and wear the other costume, the classic TV costume. I always want to call that the Adam West costume, and maybe that's right. I'm not sure. Alright, so we have, I need to do a quick fire bat claw slam. I need to do an aerial attack and a quick fire batarang. So let's see what the actual requirements are. The slam I can open with that. No problem. I do have a little bit of a problem getting off some of the batarangs. Okay, an aerial attack on somebody with a shield, so it specifically has to be somebody with a shield. Quick fire batarang to knock 3 enemies down. Oh wow, so I may have to open with that.
Right here. What's this guy's story? squish me. Don't check it out.
That wasn't very nice. There we go.
Everybody, on him! This'll bring the pain.
Oh, I hit jump.
Take him down! Give me a break, will ya? Oh!
Ooh. Alright, so that was sloppy, but it worked out. I'll show the concept art later. But that'll be it for this part. I guess we'll resume the main storyline mission. I'm not sure. Seems like the most reasonable thing to do. I did do a little bit of side stuff. As you saw, we can start hunting down weapon crates that Penguin has and disabling them using a disruptor. We'll have some additional collectibles like that later on that will be marked on the map, and I'll go ahead and start working on some of those later on down the road. Maybe once I get the story to about 50% or so. Anyways. Like I said a few moments ago, that'll be it for this part. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you later.